welcome back to the Knitting Artisan podcast. I am your introverted host, Cindy, and I'm so excited to be back with you after a long hiatus. I didn't know if I was going to film Vlogmas or not, and my channel is just small beans, so there weren't many that watched, and I get it. We get flooded with so many videos during Christmas time. But for those of you who joined me and got to know me and my little family a little bit, I really enjoyed sharing that with you. That a lot has been going on. I've been knitting and I picked up crocheting again, so I will show you lots of things that I've been making. Stick around all the way to the end and I will show you part of what caused the much longer hiatus. So let me get right into some of the things that I still have around. A lot of the things that I've made have already shipped off, and you may have already seen that in a video at the beginning in the intro. So I'll start off with this little hat. If you watched Vlogmas, you saw me blocking one of these. This is called The Journey of the Aviator, and it's designed by Gabrielle Danskknit. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but it's a sweet little 6 to 9 months aviator hat with little ear flaps, and these are sewn down, and then I have my garment label on the back along with a care label. This is hand wash and dry flat only. I used wool of the Andes in just normal non-superwash yarn. To go along with that, there's a little pair of booties. These are going off to a dear friend. So, pair of sweet little booties with shaping on the top. And it's been laying flat for a little bit, so it will look much better when it's on the foot. But you knit this. I've got to search the pattern. I thought I had found the name of it. If I find it, I'll put it on the screen. But you start at the bottom. You start at the bottom and you knit in a flat piece, and then you do shaping around the toe, and then you continue knitting up, 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 and then at the end you seam the back side and you seam the little sole together. So that's going to be going out with the little aviator hat, but I couldn't just send that. This is a really good friend. She's been amazing to a lot of people and been a soft place to fall. So she's having her first grandchild. Her first grandchild's on the way. So I also made her these to tuck into her gift. This is Simple Bird in a Nest, and it's designed by Susan B. Anderson of Barrett Wool Co. But these are just absolutely adorable. They're little birds. I also used wool of the Andes for these as well. This is the Baltic Heather colorway, undyed. I think this is Dandelion for the beak, and this is the Avocado colorway. This is Brass Heather, the Tweedy version for the nest. But you knit these little eggs, which are just super sweet. Here's the green one. But you knit this little bird, and you start at the bottom and you do shaping all the way up, and and you do some decreases here, a little bit of color work on up to the top. Anyway, with this little plume, it's adorable. And then you knit the nest, which is just a simple kind of like a little bowl shape with this beautiful Latvian braid detail around the top of the nest. So I thought that would be special to give her as well. And I've been getting into crochet again lately. I usually knit a lot more than I crochet. I haven't even picked it up in years, so it took a while for the muscle to get non-achy, but I'm back in the saddle now. But I have been making some purses of late. One of them, it was shipped off to a friend, and so I don't have it, but I'll put some video in of it. But I do have another. I'm going to be making another one, and that is the Summer Days Daisy bag. This one is, what is this called? Rosette Drawstring Bag. And I forgot to write down who the designer is. I'll put it on the screen. It did call for doing a crocheted I-cord, and I just found the crochet version of I-cord a lot more fiddly, so I started doing the knit version, but it was just taking way too long because you're supposed to have 78 inches of length for the handle. I thought, you know what, I'm going to nose around on Amazon and see what I can find, and I located this beautiful AV crystal that roping. This is typically used for sweatshirts, but I thought this is just so perfect. So you can see you start out at the bottom with this just simple single crochet and increasing, and then you get up here into this shell stitch patterning, and it's really pretty. Then you top it up here with several rows more of single crochet, and then a border of crab stitch, which is just simply doing the single crochet stitch backwards. This is maybe not necessarily the prettiest, but I thought it was a good compromise, since I didn't want to knit 78 inches of I-cord. It was just far too labor intensive. But it comes with these little caps that you just cinch them down. You cut off the length that you need, and you have several of those little caps that you cinch down. But This is the linen colorway. I used Knit Picks Dishie for this, and I think this is quite lovely. Then this one, I absolutely love this. I think it's so beautiful. If you're familiar with the Hat and I, if you're a crocheter, they make so many adorable patterns. Well, this one, apparently there's more than one designer, because it said this is designed by Merrin of the Hat and I, but this is the square scramble bag, the square scramble sack by the Hat and I. Is this not absolutely stunning? I absolutely love this. This is the other side. Let me put the handles to the back. But as you can see, you crochet, there's 4 different sizes of squares that you crochet, from these small ones and medium size there. And then you're given the schematic for how to sew them together. And then this handle. Now this is for my sister, and she wanted her handles a little bit longer. Now what I did, I put some 2-sided fusion shape down in the bottom, some really stiff stiffener. I put some cotton muslin, ironed it on each side, and I tacked it down and sewed it in the bottom. So that is very much a firm bottom. And what I ordered was this. I think there might be a yard of it in here, and it's really, really firm. So that's down in the bottom. But I also, you know, when it comes to these crochet bags, I really like some kind of a liner so you don't have things poking through. And the fabric it creates is really soft. I'll get to the yarn in just a minute, but I just wanted to show you what I did for the inside. I ordered some really firm canvas, and I sewed a liner for the inside of the bag. And this is such a sturdy bag. I love it. It's so beautiful. All the colors are just to die for. Now the yarn that I used exactly what the designer used in her pattern, even the same colorway. But this is Red Heart Roll With It Melange in the Showtime colorway. So there will definitely be more of these bags in my future. The only little hiccup I have right here, I think my tension went just right as I was getting to the end of sewing that liner in. It bunched up. It's just right at the end. Anyway, my one little boo-boo in the bag. But anyway, this is going to be great. The only thing I have left to do is to sew my garment label. And I have ordered some teal colored garment labels with my logo. The undecided thing with that is I don't know if I'm going to put it on the outside or on the inside where it's more visible against that canvas. So my sister's going to decide, since this is hers, she's going to decide where she wants it sewn in. So yeah, really excited about this. And then the last thing I still have here that I can show you is this is the Pearl Soho 2-color Homestretch Hat. This is such a quick knit. It's so adorable. I did go for Knit Picks yarn. This is in the natural undyed. This is Alta Prima, which is, it's an well, I wouldn't say unspun, but it's a single ply, and it is practically unspun yarn. If you rub it very much, you absolutely will develop a halo. So I do like to treat it gently. Then I used the Elle colorway for contrast, and then I made a pom-pom. And I think that's absolutely adorable. Again, with my garment label right there. And since this is, it's very somewhat fragile yarn. I mean, as long as you're wearing it on your head, it's not like anything. It's not going to get much rough treatment, but this is hand washed and lay flat to dry only. Still working on that Merrin blanket. I have about one pattern repeat and a half left to go. If I can get the time to get that finished, I really need to get that off my needles. And I've also started the Taiga blanket, and that's I'll have to look up who that was, but it's beautiful. I finally was able last night to start working on that in earnest, and I'm having such a wonderful time knitting that. So for future knitting plans, I have a few things that I'm going to be making for friends. I'm going to be making a baby blanket for that friend. I'm going to get that to her later. But for her, I'm knitting the Cable Treasure P100 blanket. It is a beautiful, simple, classic little blanket full of cables. And I'll put a picture on the screen. I'm going to be using Knit Picks Swish in the Nutmeg Heather colorway. And for those of you who have knit with Swish, this is 100% fine superwash merino wool. I think I have some fuzz from the Homestretch hat that came loose on my mouth. But so this is this beautiful Nutmeg Heather colorway. There's just beiges and light tan and natural undyed that's in here. And it's going to look so beautiful with all those cables. I'm really excited to start knitting that as well. Then for another friend who has amazing style, she loves boho things, and I'm drawn to those colors as well. I don't know that it always looks good on me, but I do like them. But I'm going to be crocheting. Once again, this is a crochet pattern, and this is one that she found, and it's the Spiral Fingerless Gloves by Hannah Martin. Look at the yarn that she picked that I get to work with making these fingerless gloves. Is this not beautiful? It's such candy for the eyes. So like I've said before many times, if I'm using a hand-dyed colorway, variegated, many times I will go with a commercial, less pricey yarn for contrasting color. It just makes it a little easier, and you can splurge on some indie undyed yarn or indie dyed yarn and pair it with something that doesn't cost as much. So then you can still get your color fix with these fun colorways. But I am so excited and looking forward to working with this. Then a few nights ago, I was just like getting ready to go to bed and wind down for the night, and my sister texted me this picture and she said, "Cindy, I need..." Do y'all remember those little Sesame Street Yip Yips? And I never have been much of a cartoon person, but I did enjoy Sesame Street as a kid, and I'll tell you, hands down, my favorite character on the program were the Yip Yips. They were those little aliens with the big mouths. I'll put a picture up. So anyway, my sister wanted several of these Yip Yips, and we're going to use them. You know, you can use them to put things in the open mouth, so like you can dangle it from your rear view mirror or anywhere, you know, like drop your little change in or your lip balm. But I'm going to populate the earth with Yip Yips. So she ordered these from Hirschner's. Actually, this might have been a couple that I ordered. But I wanted some in bright colors. The pattern just had regular red heart yarn, but it's really more in keeping to go with this chenille type yarn. So we have those colors. We've got yellow. We have this fun pink color. This is called Pink Punch. This is Bluebell. And this is Lime Sherbet, or Sherbet. This is Tangerine. And then Fuchsia. Just red. And Royal Blue. So anyway, so these are going to be super fun, and I imagine pretty quick to make up. I did order some pipe cleaners for the little antenna. I haven't opened it up yet, but I found an inexpensive container of pipe cleaners on Amazon, and also some googly eyes in lots of different sizes. So I think I'm going to be making a few of those and selling them. Moving on to acquisitions, I don't know what I did to deserve so many good things to come my way, even though it's been a very difficult season. It was also really good. I was lucky to have or very blessed to have a viewer of the podcast send me a package of goodies, and it was so fun to go through. I'm going to share with you what I received. And then I actually won something on a knitting podcast. And if you haven't watched Michelle of Knitwit in the Sticks, I really enjoy watching her. I love where she's moved to. She and Leslie formerly had a podcast called The Naughty Knitwits. And I'm not sure, maybe they still record every so often if they're able to, but they're super fun, and it's just nice to see their camaraderie and the banter on the podcast. But now Michelle is podcasting on her own, and now she's also gotten into paper crafts. So I'll show you. She even sent a homemade card that she made. I love it. I was so thrilled to get one of her homemade cards, and I'm always keeping this. But I won this beautiful bag from Fat Girl Fibers, and it's a good size bag. And it reminds me a lot of my grandmother, because she lived rurally on a farm, and she and my grandfather, and in the fall, this is exactly what the trees looked like around their property. And this beautiful kind of a sagey green woven fabric. I don't know if it's linen, but it just looks exactly like something my grandmother would have chosen. She used to sew. I love it. I absolutely love it. And opens up. There's a nice pocket and a magnetic snap closure. It is a box bottom, so it opens up to a really good size. But I love this. And it came with some hand-dyed yarn. This is the Amos fingering line from Nerdy Fibers. I love this colorway, and it goes perfectly with the bag. There's just these beautiful peaches and like coral rust. I love it. It's so fall, but it's really beautiful. I look forward to knitting with that, and so you can see it goes with that bag perfectly. So the card she sent me, her homemade card, I just love it. You know, these details, there's just so much detail. It's beautiful. So if you enjoy paper crafts, you would enjoy seeing some of the papers that she has purchased and making cards out of, and different tools that she's using to make her beautiful cards. But I love it. I'm always keeping that. And then she also included this beautiful card with a Bible verse, Psalm 38:15, that says, "But for you, O Lord, do I wait. It is you, O Lord my God, who will answer." And I can say that God is certainly taking care of me during this rough winter. So I love that. I'm really excited to have it. This is from a viewer of the podcast who's such a sweetheart. She asked to remain nameless, so I will keep her identity private. But I still want to honor her and just show the kindness that she showed me. But she sent this a pom-pom. I like these. I really like this snap closure. So I've got a pom-pom that will absolutely get used. She knit me this beautiful washcloth. I might use this as a face washcloth, but all my kitchen washcloths are hand knit. I knit them all, but I love this. I'm not sure by the colorway if this is, I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, but it's beautiful. All these fun colors in it. That's not all. There are 3 skeins of Knit Picks Swish. I love Knit Picks Swish. Love it. I believe this, yeah, this is the Moss colorway, and this is the DK weight. I have a friend that this is their favorite color, so this may be going into a project for my friend. Then there is, she included some faux fur. This might end up going on some Yip Yips. That might be perfect. That totally looks like Cookie Monster's colorway. Whew, looks beautiful in the light. She included some ribbon. It's beautiful. It's this, looks like shimmery pink little stripes in there, in that white ribbon. And then there were a few candies, and I can tell you that there was some Ghirardelli chocolate casualties. They're no longer with us. Then this beautiful turquoise colored yarn, and I was just remarking on another podcast that I have never had hand spun to my knowledge. Well, now I have hand spun. It's like I just spoke it into existence. But this is this beautiful, this is 90% alpaca, 10% silk. There's 250 yards in this. So I'm guessing this would be like a DK weight because it's 4 ounces, or maybe it's worsted since there's 4 ounces of it and not 3.5. Whether she's saying it's a sport weight. But this beautiful turquoise, and it's, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. Let's see if it will show up. That's the kind of alpaca. Wakaya? I'm not sure. But I have 4 beautiful hanks of this yarn. And there's more. So there's more of that same alpaca. This is also hand spun, and it's more of a teal colorway or a peacock. This is a 90-10 blend of alpaca and silk, and it's heavenly soft. It's so beautiful. And last but not least is this beautiful hand-dyed hank. This is from Arkansas Yarn Co., I believe. Yeah. From Sock Yarn Society. I absolutely love this. It's this beautiful, happy, cheery, golden yellow with some patches of undyed and speckles of green. A few other colors in there. And then there's also this lovely little progress keeper. I love it so much. And it was just such a wonderful surprise. So kind. You know, just kindness that I don't even deserve, but I'm so grateful. So that's it for now. That's a pretty decent catch up on some of the things I've been up to. Watch all the way to the end and you'll see a little bit about what it was like, about what life was like during the winter storm for us. It was, our county experienced water outages and A lot of people were without water for a good couple of weeks. Everybody had their water dripping, and so the water utility district ran low on water. So we had to boil water, and personally here in our little farmhouse, we were without water for 2.5 weeks before plumbers were able to show up. And let me tell you, those plumbers were amazing. What a godsend. They were all kind and capable, hardworking. They were just such a huge blessing. And you'll see more pictures of some of the snow and ice, and I'm including some aerial photography from a local photographer called Duck River Photography, I believe. So you'll catch a few pictures that they took overhead of the Mars Hill Mansion that's here in our county. And yes, that is the Mars Candy folks. So you'll see that mansion and our beautiful snowy courthouse, along with a few more images. So also, before I leave out and leave you with the outro, be sure and look me up on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I have a little tiny account on TikTok. Same moniker, Knitting Artisan. Just on Facebook, be sure you look for the one with my logo. And talk to me down in the comments. Let me know what you've been up to. How did you fare through the winter storm, even though that's old news now? But I love talking to you and sharing the things I'm making, and I love hearing what you're doing. So until next time, bye for now.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane. And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air, and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within. Oh, dreamy, breezy, we go. Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other. Beyond gravel, beyond all. Hand in hand, building castles out of sand, reaching